Hi, we are now going to learn about electric circuits. We know that everything around us runs on electricity. Whether you take a bulb or a computer or a satellite or a cell phone, everything today works on electricity. But how do these objects actually work? Well, all of them work because they make charges flow around in loops that we call circuit. So charges flow around in circuit loops, electric circuit, that's why we study that. And as these charges flow around in circuit loops, they transfer energy to electrical appliances. Now, how do these charges flow around? Why do they flow around? How do they transfer energy? All these questions have one answer: electric potential. If we understand the idea of electric potential really well, then we'll be able to answer the question of why charges are moving around and how they transfer energy to various objects. What is this idea of electric potential? It's a very simple idea. Every point in the universe has an electrical number. This electrical number we call as its electric potential. This point has a number, that point has a different number, this point has a different number. All around us, every point has a unique number. So this statement, every point has a unique electrical number called its electric potential. This is probably the most important statement in the whole of electricity. Okay, what does this mean? Suppose I have a point A, its number I'm going to say is 11 and we are going to measure it in units of volts. So I'm going to say the electrical number there is 11 volts. So we say the potential, electric potential at A is 11 volts. Okay, so if I pick another point B, its electric potential is minus 8.3 volts. Electric potential can be positive, negative, zero, no problem. Another point C has 23.37 volts. A point D also has 11 volts. Is that okay? 2 points can have the same potential, not a problem. But E now has two numbers, two potentials. Is that okay? No. Every point has a unique number, so E cannot have two numbers. So let's get rid of 12. So there's only one number at E. Each point has only one potential. But you can have point F having 11 volts, D also has 11 volts, A also has 11 volts. So multiple points can have the same potential. That is okay. But one point cannot have multiple potentials. So I've given you all these numbers, right? Does this mean forever A must have only 11 volts? Forever B must have only minus 8.3 volts? Not really. If I move some charges around, if I go and switch on or switch off a light, go and switch on the AC, as long as I change things around me, right? Electrical changes that I'm inducing by bringing charges, moving things around and so on, what will happen is that these numbers will all change. So if I go and switch on the light, suddenly all these numbers have changed. But notice, again at A there is only one number, at B there is one number, a different number, but now it still has one number. At any given instant, each point has one unique electrical number called its potential. What exactly is electric potential? Let's understand that. Electric potential is what gives potential energy to a charge. Okay? Before we look at that, the symbol that we use for electric potential is VA. Now you know that V stands for volts. So when I say 10 volts, that V there basically stands for volts. But what is the potential at A? I need a symbol for that. We could have used P, but P is used for many different things in physics. So we use V itself. So V with a subscript A means potential at A. Potential at A, V at A is 10 volts. This is also V, that is also V. Don't get confused. Be a bit careful. Similarly, potential at B will be called V with subscript B. Potential at C will be V subscript C and so on. Okay. Now, the potential at A is 10 volts. What does that tell us? Actually, as such, it doesn't tell us anything. But if I go and put a charge Q there, it tells us the potential energy that we will get for the charge. So potential energy at A, that the charge is sitting at A, how much potential energy does it get? Q times VA. The charge value into the potential at A. Similarly, if the charge was placed at B, the potential energy of the charge will be Q times VB and so on, right? So suppose I had a charge of 2 coulombs. Then the potential energy will be 2 into 10, 20 joules. So you can see that the potential at a point is telling us the potential energy a charge will have if it was at that point. Instead of plus 2 coulombs, suppose I had minus 3 coulombs, then minus 3 into 10 is minus 30 joules. So this charge will now have a potential energy of minus 30 joules. Remember, potential is not telling us the energy directly. Potential into charge, Q times V, is giving us the energy of the charge. Suppose I had plus 3 coulombs, well, plus 3 into 10, so plus 30 joules. So now suppose this charge moves from A to B, how much energy will it have? It won't have 30 joules anymore because the potential energy at B is Q times VB. Now the charge is at B. So that means 3 times 7, so the energy will be 21 joules. Now the charge has 21 joules. The same charge when it was at A had 30 joules. When the charge moves to B, it has only 21 joules. Suppose the charge moves to C, it will have how much energy? 3 into 2, 6 joules. So at different locations, the charge has different amount of energy. How much energy? That is decided by the potential at that location. So electric potential at a point tells us the energy a charge will have if it is kept at that point. Previously I told you that charges moving around in circuit loops is how all electrical objects function. But how exactly does that work? That's what I'm going to show you with an example. We are going to use this bulb that is being run by this battery. This end of the bulb is connected to that end of the battery, and this end of the bulb is connected to the other end of the battery. This point A has a potential 10 volts, that point B has a potential 2 volts. Potential, not energy. For you to get energy here, you need a charge. Potential by itself is not energy. Please keep that in mind. So how do I get a charge here? The battery is going to send us some charge, let us say 3 coulombs. When the 3 coulombs comes to A, it has an energy of 3 into 10, 30 joules. Who has this 30 joules? The charge, 3 coulomb charge has 30 joules. We call it PE at A, potential energy at A. That doesn't mean it is the potential energy of the point A. It is actually the potential energy of the charge when it is at point A. Okay, so the charge has this 30 joules energy. How did the charge get that energy? Well, it came from the battery, so the battery must have given it this energy. Now, at this point, it has an energy of 30 joules. But it's not going to stay there. It is going to go through the bulb and it's going to come out. Notice, when it comes out, it is still 3 coulombs. It was 3 coulombs here, it went in, came out, it is still 3 coulombs. The charge is not destroyed. The charge remains the same. How much is its energy? Q into V, 3 into 2, 6 joules. When it is at B, it has an energy of 6 joules. When the same charge was at A, it had an energy of 30 joules. Will the charge remain there? No, it came from the battery, it is going to go back to the battery and it will continue somewhere else. That we are not concerned about. What we know is when the charge came here, it had an energy of 30 joules. When it went through the bulb and came out, it has an energy of 6 joules. 30 became 6. So that means some energy was lost. How much was the energy drop that the charge had? QVA minus QVB, 30 minus 6, 24 joules. So the charge lost 24 joules of energy. But wait a minute, energy cannot be lost, right? So what the charge lost is what the bulb gained. That's why the bulb is functioning. Who gives the bulb energy? The charge. So the charge lost 24 joules, the bulb gained 24 joules. That's why you get all this light and heat from the bulb, right? This idea is a very important idea. An electric potential energy drop that a charge attains, right? A charge has got an energy loss. That loss of energy by the charge, that is what supplies energy to the bulb, supplies energy to a fan, supplies energy to a computer, to a cell phone, to all electrical appliances. So electric potential energy drop is extremely important because that's how all appliances function. Okay, now the charge Q is the same. So why was there an energy loss? Because the potential from 10 volts, it dropped to 2 volts. So there was a drop in the potential. I can rewrite this Q VA minus Q VB. I can pull the Q out and I can write it as Q times VA minus VB. Okay, Q does not change. The potential is the one that is changing. So there is a drop in the potential. So this is the reason there is a drop in the energy. And drop in the energy is important because that's why the bulb is functioning. So potential drop, we call this the potential drop, and this quantity is an extremely important quantity. We are going to try and understand this in more detail.